Hello everybody. You watched one of my previous videos. I had this engine running on the engine stand and found metal in this area right here, and the metal is coming from the rollers here. These rollers was rough, and what I done, I cleaned these things up with paint thinner and acetone when I pulled it 555 apart, and blew it all down. And I did not soak these rockers in oil before I put it together, and just completely slipped my mind. So I primed the engine with oil, got oil up to the rocker arms and everything and all, but it didn't get oil in there when I first fired it up. So when I cranked this thing up, these rollers was dry. I turned 6500 to 8000 RPM with it, and so I'm gonna go get some shaft rockers, but I'm gonna hold off on that right now. Got my money tied up in other things, so so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a little trick on how to fix these the shafts in here and all, and it's gonna be a little trick to get oil. Make sure oil gets on these rollers here, and this is one of those things that you do at your own risk. I'm not scared of it, but the shaft rockers got provision that oil's that, but these Harland Sharp don't. They all they got is a little old hole right there, and these things get lubricated by splash oiling, and so whatever oil gets in that hole and gets on that, it's okay for, I assume these things is okay for 7,000 RPM. That's what I was running these things at. About 72 was the max on them before, but I'm trying to turn this engine up to 8,000 now, and so I'm going to do a little modification on here to try to help get a little oil on that roller. And anyway, these things are still kind of rough. Still got metal in there. But I'm going to show you a little trick to fix it. I got a stud girdle. I'm going to run on this thing. But the stud girdle is for well, I had it laying up here. Anyway, the stud girdle is for stock height valves and or standard length valves or whatever. I got longer valves in here, and so I'm going to have to modify them stud girdles to fit, to clear the rocker arms and all. And I'll make a video on that too, in case anybody's ever run into that. And I run the stud girdles on that head back in that orange head you can see back in the background, and that's what it fits. I got race right heads and put longer valves in it, and they had longer valve stem to increase the valve spring height and all that, and tried to get my stud girdle on there, and it was hitting the rock arms. All right, let me take this rock arm apart. First thing you do is get you a couple sockets that'll clear your trunnion. You don't want to put anything. You don't want to put no pressure on that trunnion when you're taking that axle out. So you just want it to touch it on the aluminum part on both sides. Clamp that thing down. Get you this is a roll pin punch. Just find one that'll fit that. This is a Craftsman 42 215. Had that thing for years. They don't make them anymore. They might make them up there now, but this is what I use. Take your little hammer, just barely bump it. Put your finger on there and catch it. There it is. There's your roller tip, and there's the axle. And you see, it's got a little slack, and it's got a rough spot on that side there. You can see the wear mark where it'd been rubbing, and that was rough. They had it. This was rough. Nice since the metal's out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to grind me a flat spot across there. When I install it, I'm going to put this flat spot going towards the top of the rocker. That way it can get oil in there. And this right here, this part here locks the, you don't want to grind on that. You just want to grind a flat spot all the way across, or that way any oil gets in there, it'll you'll see what I'm talking about. Do it on the part that's wore. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. there's the flat spot I got ground in it. So any oil that makes it between the rocker and the roller will land on top of that flat spot, and then hopefully it'll help oil that roller at 8,000 RPM. I'm getting oil to the top end, but I don't think I'm getting enough. I don't have it oil restricted to the top end. But what the problem is I got 3/1000 clearance on the rod bearings and 3/1000 on the main bearings. So I'm bleeding a lot of oil in the bottom end, and motor's only got 80 pounds of oil pressure, which that's plenty of oil pressure. But this right here, in theory, should hit this, and if it don't, I'll post a video on it. And but you can see the extra. You can see the gap in between that and the roller. I don't recommend nobody doing this. I'm not. It's my. If it don't work, it don't work. If it does, it does. I don't know. But I'm on this. This is my only option right now. So put this thing back together. I did it on the rough side that was wore. And another thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some of this here extreme pressure lube number 3 on it, on that shaft, before I put it together. That's what like I said, I don't think I would have had this issue if I had just soaked these things in oil before I put them together. I just wasn't thinking. Now that feels real good. That feels like brand new right there. All right, put this thing back together. So make sure you put the flat spot up. There we go. Let's take your little old hammer. All right, that one's done. That feels like brand new. Well, when I first took it off, it was real rough. I mean, you can see the roller going back and forth. In theory, the oil should get between that gap, get on top of that flat spot, and work its way up under that roller when it's while it's turning, and it should increase a little, help it out. I think it's going to be okay. I had thought about modifying it right there, but I was like, no, I don't want to take a chance on weakening this rocker. These are some rockers I got from Straub Technology. They're supposed to fix a valve train geometry problem that these big block Chevys have, and this did help. It helped on the intake. The exhaust was okay, but I don't know what they done. These are custom made rocker arms to Straub specs, and I got around 200 to 250 passes on them, and they're not burnished or anything like that. It just, they was fine before I put it together, and I turned that engine 8,000 RPM. But anyway, so we're gonna try that. Oh, talk to y'all later.